My name is Tayler Uselton, and I am the Vice President of Team Development of Florida State Relay for Life. I first started relaying for my grandmother, my mom's mom. She passed away when my mom was little in 1963 of cancer. This really changed my mom's life. I was never able to meet her, obviously, and it definitely impacted my mom and her siblings. So I started relaying for her because, I never got a chance to meet her or see things or know how she talked or the things that she liked because of cancer. Then the next person I started relaying for was Mr. Don, and he was a mentor to me in high school. He taught me a lot about never giving up and never letting anybody ruin your smile. And so he was the biggest fan of Palmetto High sports, and so he would be at all the games, no matter if it was pouring down rain. Mr. Don would be out there, "Go on, girls, you got it!" And so seeing him lose that spirit during his fight of cancer really broke my heart, and that was the first time I've ever actually seen somebody go through cancer. In 2014, both my mom and my uncle, who are siblings, my Uncle Eddie, they both were diagnosed with cancer. And so now this is the three of them out of the same line that had been diagnosed with cancer. My Uncle Eddie, unfortunately, this past year did lose his battle, but he never gave up. He never let it change who he was. He never let it change how humorous he was. He was honestly probably the funniest person I've ever met. And then with my mom, that was the first time I saw, I can remember that one phone call sitting in Landis, getting a phone call saying, "Hey, they found something." And for me, that kind of just changed everything. I was up here in Tallahassee, and I really just wanted to be home every split second. I would go home every weekend the first semester that my mom was diagnosed and try and help out as much as I can, try and help and clean up around the house, make her life a little bit easier. Definitely impacted the family, but it's definitely made me realize how strong my family is and that we can get through this. It almost did a life circle to me because I started volunteering because of my grandmother. And 2 years later, I was sitting here and being able to think of all these resources that the American Cancer Society does because of our fundraising that now were applicable to my mom. And so for me, it really made me feel a lot better because I knew that my mom and my uncle both had such a large support system. My mom's friends and our family, I don't think we made a meal for 4 months after my mom got diagnosed just because the community stepped up so much. And friends of my mom just made sure that every little thing was handled. But not everybody has that. Not everybody has that support system. And so I feel like with Relay for Life and donating to the American Cancer Society, we're able to give those people that support system. I would just encourage anybody who doesn't know about Relay for Life to give it a try. Come out there the night of and really just see what all of us are fighting for, because my goal with Relay for Life and fundraising and all the efforts that I do is I don't want my kids to fear cancer. I don't want to have to call my kids one day while they're on college campuses and tell them hey, you need to come home. I think that would be nothing better in the world than a world that cancer wasn't feared, where cancer feared us. Every year when I see those faces on the screen, it allows me to better visualize why I'm doing this, why I sit in this office and work for an hour, and why I read emails and go to 4 meetings a week. It all comes together during that ceremony, and it helps me realize why I do the things I do.